Note to self, clean your camera off. Jeez, I didn't realize. Why didn't y'all? Welcome back to Trigger to Transform Day 25. I am Goddess Shatoya, and we are here on this Trigger to Transform journey. And we are here to amplify ourselves, to remember who we are, to tap into who we identify as. And this week, we're looking at survival roles. Today is day 25 of a 90-day journey. How y'all feeling? I'm excited. Like, wow. I'm really, really, really happy to be in a place to see myself at this 25-day mark. Now, in full transparency, let me say that I have recorded day 24. This is day 25. I'm learning to edit. And that has taken something that I don't even know why. So I'm just giving myself grace as I'm working through the process. I understand that it's also an internal thing where it's something that I don't want to have to do. And so I asked one of my girlfriends, she works in the restaurant industry. I was like, are there aspects of your job that you don't want to do? And she was like, yeah, like clock in, like get up, wash my face. Like, okay, I get it. I get it. So that's one of the aspects of this action, this transformative action that, oh my gosh. So what is it on my head? It's for transformative action that I've come up with, that I've started, that takes a little bit more than I anticipated. And so, and I'll learn it, right? It's not that I can't, it's just unexpected. I didn't realize that it was going to be, I guess, I don't know why I didn't realize that I'll have to edit a video, or I may want to edit some things inside the video, like pauses, so that things flow a little bit more, condense some of the time that you all are having to pause. And I won't remove all the pauses, but those are some of the things that I want to see, and for it to still remain a very organic space, because some of that space and time I'm receiving the energy of what you all are saying, how you're doing and what's going on, so that these things become more fluent and poignant on what the listener, if you will, what the learning lab needs. And I'm able to do that through tapping into the energy that way. So, yeah. So this is where we are in this space, and I'm so excited to share it with you. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, all the things, right here, right now, in the moment. Don't wait. You can do it now. You don't have to rewatch the video. You can just ask a question. What's up? How are you? What are you doing? And I would love to engage with you, right? That's the space that I'm really building. I want to engage. I want to build a space of warmth and safety, so to speak. There's a lot going on in the world. So knowing that, that's critically important to me. And that also supports me in feeding back, right? And being able to tailor this information if there's something specific that I say, or something that doesn't make sense, or something maybe none of it makes sense. Say that too, support me in my quest to grow, because what else is there? Support me as I desire to support you, and you can tell me what you need, and I promise you, if I don't know, I know somebody that knows. And we can find out together. And I'm a person that loves to research. And I'm a person that loves to come up with solutions to things that are going on in and around us. So that's what we're doing here. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And if you're here for the 25th day, Thank you for coming back. Thank you for choosing yourself. Thank you for rewarding yourself with a few minutes in your day to focus in on what it is that is coming up for you, or to broaden your perspective of things that you may not have thought about in a while, if ever at all. Thank you for being consistent. Thank you for taking on some of the key concepts that we've talked about earlier on in this journey of choice. We made the choice to be here. We made the choice to be consistent. We made the choice to commit to what it is that we're doing. And we make a choice in who it is that we're being while we're doing it. I'm so excited. So thank you so much. So today, what has been up? How do you feel? What's going on with you? Good. Okay. Oh, all right. That's perfect. That is perfect. And I love the way that you have consistently moved through those life challenges as they come up. It's big or small, right? Sometimes I will talk about some of the challenges in just a little bit, but sometimes it's minimal. Sometimes it feels gigantic and it's nothing. Sometimes it feels like nothing and it's huge, like our capacity to hold ourselves in what it is that we're experiencing, even the great things that we're experiencing all the time. And so just more of that energy, more of the great things, more of looking at things and finding the greatness in them, right? And being in connection to that source of great energy within you, and cultivating that in a way where it's not performative, that it's not, just fake. Okay, that's the word. There we go. I'm not going to dance around that. It's not fake. Ill. And can really fall into love with yourself. Fall into love with yourself. So yesterday on day 24, we talked about exhaustion as identity, and we talked about some of the things that we can do to evaluate ourselves to find out if we're exhausted, right? It shows up in our patterns and how we act, what it is that we do. And I say that knowing that I haven't posted the video, but as I posted, this will make more sense. So when we're looking at our identity point, what do we overcarry? How am I evaluating what I'm overcarrying? I gave a beautiful breakdown of my life and what it looks like, and the expectations that are held in some places, and the responsibility that I have in all of this, right? It was very intimate, detailed look into my own personal experience, identifying the exhaustion within myself. I noticed I talked about, like, sometimes in my videos, I'll see myself like thinking, but also from a space of like, I'm really tired right now. And again, it's 1:41 a.m. I just got off the phone with my dad. So my life flows this way. So that's what we're talking about today, the life flow, right? And sometimes we look at it as self-abandonment, right? And giving ourselves what we need and being energetically in alignment with what it is that we're creating, right? So someone who is not in the position that I'm in right now, who may work from a certain time in the morning to a certain time, I've been there, certain time in the morning to a certain time in the evening. So my day was structured around that, right? So from the time I went to bed to the time I woke up the next morning, to the time I went to bed, to the time I woke up the next morning. That was a very routine way of living my life. There was moments where I was more dedicated to that practice than to giving to myself. And even now, there are more moments that I'm dedicated to my practices and what it is that I'm doing. And I'm learning to tailor my life with that, right, with that structure. So it looks like 90% of the time I'm up at around 2 a.m. doing things like this because it falls in alignment with the way that I would prefer to live my life. There's little room for self-abandonment when I'm operating that way because I have the opportunity to tap into what it is that I need to do. Like today, I took a nap. I had to wrap my knee. I've had a fall a couple of months ago, and sometimes she starts to speak French, right? I don't call it the HURT word because I don't put that on my body that way. And it doesn't, truthfully. But I've noticed a little situation. So I needed to rest. So I did. Right. And so that put me back a few hours because as I woke up, there were things that I needed to get done in order to be prepared for some things that I need to do tomorrow. And I hadn't talked to my daddy, so I had to call him and talk to him. And so there's little room for me to abandon myself when I'm paying so close attention. When we are in other situations, being in long-term marital relationships, as women especially, sometimes we tend to abandon ourselves. When men also do it. I'm not saying that men do not do it because I have a deep, intimate relationship with women. I'm talking to women. And gentlemen, if you are here, please know it's no harm, no foul. Stay with us. Okay? But, you're just getting an opportunity to sit in on some intimate conversations that I have with women. And so I'm not ignoring that you're here. Let me say that. Okay. So self-abandonment. As women, we sometimes abandon ourselves in situations with our families. Our husbands get more, our children get more, and we get what's left over. We tend to center these things around us. I've heard recently decentering men, decentering children from the woman's perspective because we will push ourselves so far to the back that we will miss things that are happening in and around us, or we will just ignore it altogether. The mental things, the physical things, the spiritual things, the financial things, and we'll give our energy to other spaces, and it will become very imbalanced. And I can say that as a woman who has done it time and time and time and time again. I recently made the same pathway for myself because I am a natural nurturer. I do want to take care of things. I do get things done. I'm about my things. So it just made me realize that energy, right, is very sacred and everyone does not get access to it. I'm able to expend my energy in spaces that allow me to be that in balance, right? It's not a complete drainage of that energy. And so that was an opportunity for me to look to see where I was abandoning myself, and I wrote abandoning myself, but what's really coming up now, where am I betraying myself? Where am I overriding my needs to meet the needs of everyone else around me? And how is that going to work? Although that may be the request, right? Because we have built a narrative that everybody around me needs me. Me too. To the fact that I create opportunities for people not to need me, but to need whatever it is that's inside of me, right? I used to hear it all the time in church, like, use me up, God, right? Not that I subscribe to that languaging, but whatever it is that is in me that needs to come out, in the way that it needs to come out, may I continue to be of service to that. And this is the way it amplifies, right? We can't do anything without the other anyway, but we are not drainage portals, right? And so as we are looking at the opportunities that we have to really hone in on what it is that we need within us in order for us to continue to give in a way that is natural, that is holistic to our nervous system, that does not have us on edge and jittery, that we can utilize our natural ways of I'll say nervous system regulation. That's what I want to call it. Nervous system regulation, be it through meditation, right? Be it through meditation, be it through herbal remedies, chamomiles, mints, mullins, like blends of herbs and things that are to elevate us versus being subscribed to more altering things, right? Mentally, physically, emotionally, chemically altering, right? To learn to feed ourselves from a place where we're being, and I say food, but I mean that from the aspect of what we're feeding ourselves through our auditory senses, through our visual senses, through our olfactory senses, right? Through our touch, through the kinetics between us. How do I feed all of that? What am I giving myself? When I'm focused in on myself that way, it's hard for me to abandon myself, and it's easy for me to give from a space where I am filled, right? If we were really focused, and when people say I'm minding my business, in my mind, this is what you're doing. In my mind, you're minding my business. That means that I can't tell you what they got going on, not in a way that is going to be, well, how are you doing? Well, he said he was doing great and that they were, blah, 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 and bam. And that's all I know, because that's all you said. And if I didn't ask you and we didn't have no conversations, I don't know, because I'm minding my business, because I'm not going to abandon myself. No longer am I in agreement to do anything but fill myself up in a way where I'm no longer overriding my needs. I no longer can ignore those initial precursors to things that I feel inside of my body. Like today when my niece started speaking French, I don't speak French at all other than we, which is yes. And something's happening down here and I need to tend to it. And if I don't, I'm going to set myself back. So I might as well do what I need to do for myself right now. And I cannot wait. I cannot wait. There's been situations where I've had to wait on things, and things have happened that I would not have dreamed of ever happening. In my mind, it's traumatic. In my mind. I don't tend to do that anymore. So it's very likely that the way that I move inside of any role, position, space that I'm in is going to be in a way where the initial service point is to myself. Because if I'm not taking care of myself, if I'm abandoning myself, if I'm no good to anything, and by doing that, I can work in the things that need to be done in and around me. But that's how I move, right? It's not that I'm saying that has to be the truth for everybody. You've got to figure out what that looks like. Your career opportunities, your career choices are way different than mine. I'm talking to police officers, I'm talking to teachers, I'm talking to judges, I'm talking to attorneys, I'm talking to lawyers, I'm talking to doctors, I'm talking to nurses, I'm talking to mothers and fathers. I'm talking to pastors, preachers. I'm talking to everybody that is interested in using these triggers of self-abandonment, if you will, to transform that so that you have a balance in what it is that you're experiencing. And when, as life shows up, you're able to move in a way that will allow you to feel more fluid in your experiences and not so jolted. Some things are completely jolting. Some things are completely out of our control. And as we are catching up to situations, we are learning the lessons in them. Okay? So this is that type of seeming of the idea that we don't have to abandon ourselves. There are ways that we can move that will support us in fulfilling our own, I should say, filling our own cups first, and then being very aware of how we are sharing that energy amongst everything that we are responsible for. I hope all that made sense. It was really good to see you today, and I'm grateful again that you came to say hello. And I pray I say that. I talk to God on our behalf. I want to change my languaging around that, because what I learned not too long ago is that the etymology of prayer is begging. And I decided a long time ago that there was nothing else that I could ask the divine for. There's nothing else that I can ask the divine for. That everything from this point is an act of gratitude, because I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for being filled up when I got here. And as I move towards every transition that I'm having in my life, that the abundance, the harvest of what was planted inside of me continues to show up and bloom. And that is my vision for you too. You didn't come here empty. God, the great divine source, Mother Divine, gave you everything that you would need before you got here. So be grateful. Use all of that to your greatest potential. Use all of that to enter into your highest self, your divine self, the infinite spark within, and operate from that space in grace. As my Reverend Tanya says, grace, ease, and glory. That's what's available to us. So congratulations. No longer override your needs. Now that you know you can't go back, go forward. Recognizing what you need, identifying it within your body, and moving through it in a way that is in balance to what it is that you say that you want, what it is that you're creating for yourself. And congratulations on your immediate success. I'm Goddess. Goddess is all I am. I'm the many. I'm the one. And God got his blessings to you. Goddess blessings.